Welcome to The 80sist, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song that you waited and waited to try to use your boombox to tape directly from your local pop station. In Cleveland, I'm Keith Marsteller, and joining me from Seattle, Washington, it's the creator of The 80sist, my longtime friend, my co-host, who is busy taping Steely Dan and other yacht rock from Y103. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Joe Wash. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Keith. Listen, I've got some bad news.
Uh-oh. Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, now that Trump is back in office, they've rescinded all HB-87 visas.
HB-87? I'm not familiar with that one. What is that?
It's the visa that allows people in the United States to play music from non-American artists. Which means that we will have to move forward without the Foreigners.
Still without Foreigner?
Thank you, Keith. Region.
Damn it! What are we gonna do?
Well, according to this memorandum from the new Office of Podcasts and Flapjacks, we have to replace them with Peaches and Herb.
Okay, so just like a full bracket of Peaches and Herb?
Yeah, it looks like.
Okay, so I guess the 1 and 2 seeds are reunited and Shake Your Groove thing, maybe? But after that, it gets real dicey.
We'll figure it out, man.
Fucking Trump, man.
No, man. This has Stephen Miller written all over it.
Well, okay, that's true. He is a huge Peaches and Herb guy.
Yeah. Most vampires are.
Very nice. That is, wow, what an opening. I mean, we had to, now that I'm not sure all our listeners are going to know who that is, so.
Oh, come on.
This is Shake Your Groove Thing by Peaches and Herb.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Shake your groove thing, yeah. Show 'em how we do it now.
So anyway, there you go.
Oh.
A little unexpected detour into the 70s.
You know what? I agree with Stephen Miller. We should be playing more Shake Your Groove Thing.
I mean, they're 100% American.
That's right.
And therefore, better than everyone else.
God bless their groove things.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm glad that you and I and our audience are reunited for the 80sist. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Today, folks, it's our 49th show of Side B. And in it, we're going to discuss the final 2 matchups in the second round of the Foreigners.
Still without Foreigner.
Region. Thank you, Joseph. And, well, guess what? That means we got 4 songs entering and 2 leave, but we'll do it 2 at a time. So how will that work out? Let's see. Fight!
2 songs enter.
Right.
1 song leaves.
Okay, it's like having a recipe. It's the tale of the tape. He's out!
Our number 3 seed, The Final Countdown by Swedish band You're Up, reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1986. It reached number 1 in 25 other countries.
Incredible.
To make the second round, it handily beat 14 seed So Alive by extremely cool British band Love and Rockets, with Europe garnering 72% of the votes cast.
That is a higher margin than I would have thought. Wow.
People like The Final Countdown, Keith.
Well, who has advanced to face the Final Countdown? It turns out it's 11 seed The Promise by English band When in Rome. Now, this song reached number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the dance charts in 1988. The Promise advanced to the second round by smacking down fellow English band The Outfield 6 seed Your Love. Again, maybe because it was promoting infidelity, I don't know. But regardless of why, When in Rome secured a decisive 63% of votes cast. So Your Love didn't really stand a chance there, and
People don't like infidelity, Keith.
That song is now on a vacation far from this bracket.
That's right.
So they can be free to do whatever they would like. And so there you go. It's the final countdown against The Promise. And here in the tail of the tape, we like to listen to a little of each. And so I bring you the heavy-handed introduction to the final countdown.
I don't think you don't appreciate the subtleties here, man.
That's true. Now, for those of you who might remember me having my own lyrics, just sing those to yourself here. It's a countdown. You know it.
The intro's so long, you could go out for a pack of cigarettes and come back before the lyrics start.
Or go out for a pack of cigarettes and leave your family, never returning. Wait, that got dark. I probably should have... I probably should have just skipped to 130 here for the lyrics. And that's all we're going to get done. All right, well, that's probably enough. You probably know the final countdown.
That's a lot. That's a lot of song.
That was a lot of final countdown. So we'll try to give equal time to The Promise.
So play the whole thing then.
God, it would be more than half. Final countdown's a 5-minute song. This is like a 3.5-minute song. So yeah.
Don't
So we did go about 2/3 of the song to get the equal amount of time there. But so be it, you know? All right, well, we've measured them up with the tail of the tape. Let's find out how they got
Constantly yelling, Steely Dan rules is not a musical identity, Joe.
I know, Joe. All right.
It's too blind.
To be frank, I'd rather listen to the death rattle of a puppy.
All right, do you ever listen to
just
Steely Dan?
to clear the air here,
Yeah.
I know that I could name more than like 2 Steely Dan songs.
That would be
man.
one more than I could probably name.
All right.
But yeah, so you're not, this is all a bit, guys.
It's a bit.
It's a bit. Joe is not a giant Steely Dan fan, nor is he probably a hater of Steely Dan. You probably just don't care.
I feel nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing toward them.
Maybe
All right,
one time we'll do a segment about Steely Dan and see if you can name Steely Dan or not Steely Dan. I'll do a quiz with you.
I love that idea.
All right.
All right, so number 3 seed, the final countdown, comes in with 87 points.
Wow.
65 of them from me. I didn't rank it. 22 of them from Keith. 100% Keith's responsibility.
Wow. That is astonishing. And number
I'm
11,
astonished.
The Promise, comes in with 83 points. It's got the same 65 unranked. Mm-hmm. But this one has got... Wait, am I doing math wrong here? Let's see.
No. This was one where we did some jockeying,
Oh,
I
okay.
think, because we had to shuffle things around.
I gave this one 18, and this just became a victim of some shuffling. Okay.
Right.
Because this actually has 83, which is better than the final countdown.
Slightly.
But that's right. The final countdown got shoved in from another region or something, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, so the point is, I ranked Final Countdown 22. I ranked The Promise 18. Joe didn't rank either of them. They're both 100% my fault for being here, and I will accept, now that we've seen the video, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, several comments like, hey, Europe should have been in the hair metal game.
I get it.
And I didn't realize that what they looked like. I didn't realize. I just thought they were another band, you know, like. But no, they probably do belong over there. But
Probably.
here they are, because this song is bigger than the hair metal bracket, probably.
It's true.
And let's find out what you think of these songs.
That's the way it has to be, 'cause that's the way I like it.
The Final Countdown, Joe, like it, hate it, love it?
As I very much said in the first round, I love this song. I can't help it. I love it the way I love the movie Cliffhanger. It's a great big box of Velveeta, and I chow down upon it. How about
Yes, I'm probably not as high up as you, but yeah, I mean, I fully lean into all of it, much like I do Rad.
you?
You know, it's a similar feel, I think. I may have said the exact same thing in the last show, but it's true.
What about The Promise?
The Promise is a wholehearted love from me. Just listening to it just now, I was moved by it once again, even though it's a 40-year-old song or something.
Yeah.
What about you? Where do you come down on The Promise?
Yeah, it's a strong edging into love for me for that one. It's a really good song.
Is this one of the ones that you weren't really super familiar with coming into this? Is that
Not as familiar. I mean,
Yeah.
it's vague recollections, but yeah, this was not something that I listened to a lot.
Yeah, that would be a weird kind of place to be, like getting hit with a song from way back then that you don't really know very much. I mean, I've had that happen to me a couple times too, and it's like, man, how did I miss this one? You know, like
Yeah.
Like Denny was sharing a lot of these New Order songs with me, and I'm like, how did I not know this song back then? You know,
Because we grew up where people went cow tipping.
that's true. Or I think that might be an urban myth, because I've tried shoving on the side of a cow once, and it's so heavy it didn't move at all. And
I don't know. I never tried.
I wasn't trying to knock it over. I'm just like petting it, and I was just like, how heavy is this thing?
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be able to push that over. I mean, maybe if you had a whole team of people, but
I guess, but fucking why, man?
why would you do it? Yeah.
Why? Look, that cow was standing. Now he's not because of me. Who
Great.
gives a shit?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, shit. All right. So we now
Yeah.
know how we feel about these songs, and let's begin the arguments. All right.
Can
All
you
right.
answer the
And what do you think, Joe? The Final Countdown's a massive, massive, massive hit.
Yeah, and this is a song that you could absolutely pull a kid to the side and say, "Listen, this song is the '80s," and then they would go, "All right, can I go now?" You know.
And the thing about The Promise, I don't know if it's where it falls in genres or whatever, if it's considered alternative, if it's considered, it was a dance hit.
It has been pointed out to us vehemently that alternative is a bullshit label. So it might have been
Progressive?
labeled like college rock,
or something. But for me, this is like an exemplification of that non-pop music kind of sound that I dig a lot, and that British sound.
Yeah, it's like post new wave kind of.
Yeah, new wave
feel.
might be a good term for it. Super high in synth drum machine, British sounding voice. It is like the poster boy for that sound. It's one of those great examples of it.
It's moody. It's synthy.
It's romantic,
right?
There's a lot of great things going on in this song.
But the Final Countdown is about Earth dying, so
right, we're leaving. I mean, and it's a massive. It's bombastic. It's hyper dramatic.
So much bombast.
What could be more dramatic than the end of civilization, right? Like, that's like an end of a relationship is nothing in comparison. Or this guy promising to walk the world and make her fall for him again.
Because there's no world now.
Like it's trumped by the fact that there is no world anymore in the Final Countdown. So hard to beat it on the importance of the drama, the scale there. What other, production-wise, it's hard to say The Promise is exactly like understated, with that.
Sorry, fucking anything is understated next to the Final Countdown.
Thank you. That's exactly where I was headed. Because, like, if I drop into Final Countdown, it's like this giant drums. And if I drop into The Promise somewhere, like near the end that we haven't heard already, you get that little. But anyway, it's very, very 80s production on both.
Yeah.
It's just, how do you like it? Do you like it hyper dramatic? Do you like it a little more romantic? Do you like it, a little more on the new wavy side, or do you like it more toward that hair metal, I guess? 'Cause Europe's definitely not new wave.
No.
Right? So yeah, that's kind of the conundrum we're in here. Mm-hmm. There are few songs with the recognition of the Final Countdown.
That's true.
Very few songs. I mean, the cross-generational recognition, I guess I should say.
I believe I talked in the round one episode about how I played this for my class of sixth graders a few years back, and they all knew it.
They all
had
know it.
all heard it.
Whereas The Promise,
right?
Probably not a single one of them has ever heard it, right? And
right.
That doesn't. I don't know. I guess that means maybe Final Countdown. You could make the argument it has transcended, and it did. It left the 80s in a rocket ship and escaped and landed here and is now popular here again.
Right.
Whereas The Promise maybe more firmly stuck back then with When in Rome. So I wish that I could kick this off to you and make you go first.
But you can't.
But instead, in 15 seconds' time, I will be making my verdict.
After some lovely bongos.
Because the 3 seed Final Countdown is odd, and that means I go first. I cast my ballot. I have to go with 11 seed The Promise on this one, Joe. It has a little more of what I feel is 80s. And that's, that sound. But god damn, how could you blame anyone for voting for the Final Countdown? If you say Final Countdown right now, I'll congratulate you on a good vote. What are you going to say, Joe?
I'm not going to say the Final Countdown. I'm going to say The Promise.
Nice.
And just listening to it, sitting here, eyes closed, listening to it, that synth bass part, that kind of the low kind of yeah, just kind of, it got to me, and I'm like, that is really 80s.
Yeah. And just from a personal level, The Promise, when I hear it, it takes me back to a place and to a time and to a feeling of youth and all that. And the Final Countdown can jack you up for a football game or for whatever.
Right.
It doesn't give me that same visceral return to the decade that The Promise does. But it might for other people, though. So we'll see.
It might.
Because, it clobbered the hell out of, Love and Rockets, who has kind of a similar...
No, it's definitely going to get some love, I think, in this round. We might be plowed under completely.
Yeah,
Who knows?
It's true. All right, well, these are not the only two songs in today's show. We have the final matchup of this bracket, and we're going to hit that right now with our second Tale of the Tape. Fight!
2 songs enter. 1 song leaves.
All right, it's the Tale of the Tape.
It is. And number 7, Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone, by Canadian rock band Glass Tiger, reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 during the summer of 1986. Glass Tiger scrapped their way to the second round by rending the heart and soul of British group T'Pow, beating them oh so narrowly with 53% of the vote.
So the 7 seed advances, the 10 seed goes home. Joe, it's another favorite winning in this region. That is
Damn.
7. Oh no, The Promise was an upset winner as an 11, I think. Yeah,
Right.
It beat a 6, so that's 2 upsets, I guess, so far. All right, sorry, 1 upset, just The Promise. Right. Okay. But now I got ahead of myself because there is one more upset, and it is a big one, a whopping one, as 15 seed Breakout by British pop group Swing Out Sister advances. Now, this song was popular in 1987 when it reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100, and to make it to round 2, Breakout had to squeak by number 2 seed Wild Wild West, and that was by the extremely narrow margin of 1 vote cast earlier today.
That's
It
right.
was tied up until a few hours ago.
Shout out to my wife for breaking that tie.
And so someone logged in and remembered to cast a vote and broke the tie, and Swing Out Sister advances to take on Glass Tiger. Well, I really don't know where this one is going to go, but let's find out by playing part of Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. We probably won't get to the Bryan-Adams part unless I skip.
Oh, darn it.
Take my breath away. Oh, love thinks it's here to stay.
get to the Bryan Adams part, but you know.
Didn't miss him.
Did you ever watch the Canadian version of this video, by the way? I don't know if you ever got a chance to check where they have a little kid.
Yeah, I believe I did.
Little kid as a Bryan Adams impersonator because they couldn't get the... Yeah, fucking classic. All right, and now our newly minted 15 seed upset winner, Breakout. Okay, there's a little bit of Breakout for you, and now we're going to find out who or what or why. How did these songs get into this tournament?
Joe, your musical taste is so saccharine. I think that's what gave me cancer.
Keith, that song was so bad, I shit my pants.
Always a classic.
All right. Number 7 seed, Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. Comes in with 77 points. 65 of them are for me. I didn't rank it. Keith gave him 12 points. This song is here 100% because of Keith.
Well, there you go. Similarly, 15 seed Breakout comes in with 91 points. 65 from Joe as an unranked song, and 26 from me. So this one, this was kind of part of the theme of this region. This one was 100% responsibility for me as well. So it'll be interesting to see where you go having neither of them ranked and where I go having ranked both of them. So I guess we'll find out as soon as we find out if you even like any of these songs, Joe. We're going to find out, and let's get started with Glass Tiger. Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. Where do you fall on that one, Joe?
I fall on the not liking it side, Keith. How about you?
I think I'm going to go with, I think I'm going mild like on it.
Right.
It's kind of it kind of reminds me of like, so if you're in Canada and you go to a Canadian football game and you buy a Canadian beer with your Canadian money, and then it's like between quarters and they go to play a song. Well, they can't play, Neil Diamond, Sweet Caroline. That's ours.
Right.
So I feel like they play Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone, and then the crowd sings, My Heart Would Break. It's that kind of song for me. It's like got that mass appeal to it, but I also don't think it's that great of a song.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to it. What do you think about Breakout?
I love Breakout. Breakout's a great song, one of my favorite songs of the 80s. So smooth, so cool. She's got such a great voice. What about you with Breakout?
I like it. I like it quite a bit.
Excellent. Yeah, all right. Well, now we know, and now we can enter the courtroom for oral argument.
All rise for his honor.
Can
you answer the question?
All rise. Well, this is it. This is the part
Okay.
where we talk about what makes Glass Tiger 80s and what makes Swing Out Sister 80s or what doesn't. And you said just a second ago, you got something to say about the Canadian Glass Tiger when I said maybe they play it at a Canadian football game.
Yeah. They would play it at a Canadian football game if they wanted the crowd to fall asleep. It is a boring song. It is the wheat paste of songs. It is so dull. I literally almost fell asleep while you were playing it.
That's awesome. There's a song in a future show where I fell asleep watching the video. I'll tell you about it when we get there. And it wasn't even late at night. It was in the middle of the day. Anyway, so I feel for you on that one. It does contain 80s legendary hitmaker Bryan-Adams. So
Yeah.
that doesn't make it less boring, maybe for you.
Look,
but it ups the cred. That's all I'm putting it out there
I
as a
suppose.
data
For
point.
me, it's not the same as a song containing Sting or Michael Jackson
No.
or Prince. It's
Right.
not the same.
Right.
I mean, yeah, Bryan Adams was huge, but he was also, again, boring as fucking whale shit.
Oh, that's awesome. So, what do you find to be 80s about Breakout?
I mean, it's loaded down with synth. It's got tons of synth.
Yeah.
The harmonies to me are very 80s harmonies.
Yeah. There is a little bit in there. Now, this is not the lady from Tapao who claimed to have invented rap, but there
Right.
is a little bit where she busts out a little bit of kind of freestyle, break out the rules, break down the walls,
Right.
day in, day out. Yeah. So she kind of like adds a little bit of, 80s style rhythmic talking. Let's not call it rapping.
Right.
To it. It does have that good sound. I mean, Glass Tiger has got plenty of synth, unless that's a real horn section we're hearing there.
Yeah,
Their
but
video,
I mean,
their American video sucked ass. Their Canadian video made me laugh. Because, they're poking fun at themselves there.
but the video for Breakout, they were having such a good time.
Yeah, they did a whole story thing instead of a boring
Yeah.
performance video. She became
Yeah, and it
a
was
fashion
fun.
designer. Yeah, it's fun. The message of Breakout, going through the lyrics, it's positive. It's got a real positive vibe about not giving up and
Right.
not being pushed down. Break out, and so I like that. That's very much like the 80s hang in there poster with the cat that's hanging by one claw.
Oh, yeah.
In Mrs. Carter's
We've all been that
room.
cat.
Yep. That was in Mrs. Carter's room, that poster of the cat, the hang in there cat. If people don't know what we're talking about with that, well, maybe Google that one.
I'm sorry. Who doesn't know the hang in there cat? I mean, come on.
Maybe younger folks or older folks.
No, it's legendary.
Is it legendary?
Unless
All
you
right.
were like Gen Alpha, you know the hang in there cat.
You think your oldest son knows the hang in there cat? At 16, is he 16?
He's 16. He might.
Yeah,
He might.
He might. All right. Well, ask him next time you see him. He's probably getting ready for bed by now, but
Or he might be watching TV and folding laundry. He does that a lot.
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, very helpful.
So there is some 80s-ness to the Glass Tiger song, as boring as you might find it. But there is undeniable 80s-ness to Breakout. But I feel like you don't need any more time to decide where you're going on this one. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's fair.
All right. Well, let's let people get back to their driving to work or grocery shopping and end the show then by giving some verdicts. Oh my. Uh-oh. This is the 7 seed as the favorite. So I am stuck going first. Well,
That's right.
I like Breakout so much more than Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. I was going to vote for Glass Tiger just to prove that I'm not just voting for songs I like. But then when listening to them again, Breakout is so synthy cool. I'm going with Breakout. I'm sorry, Bryan Adams. It's not
fuck
happening.
Bryan Adams. He doesn't need you. He's got his money.
It sounds like, Joe, where are you going to head with this vote?
Oh, I'm breaking out.
You are also breaking out
Yes,
with me.
Swing Out Sister has my vote 100%.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, we agree on one there, and that's
We do.
2 on this show. Last show, we split both. This show, we
That's
agree
true.
on both. So,
Now,
what
I
will
know
the
we've got
audience
some
do?
Glass Tiger fans out there, so
Yes,
it
Bryan
might be
Adams
close.
fans at least.
That's it.
We might have a
so
Canadian or 2 listening, Joe.
no matter what you're going to vote for,
Yeah.
find us on our Substack, the80sest.substack.com. Cast your vote there. Let us know why you voted, how you voted. You can jump on our backs for the Bryan Adams hate, whatever.
Yeah, we'd
you
love
can
to
find
hear
us
from
on
you.
social media by searching for the 80sest podcast on your more prominent social media platforms.
Right, and we might be appearing on less prominent ones here in the near future if I
There
get
you
off
go.
my ass and create an account on Blue Sky, for instance.
No, wait,
wow.
sorry.
But yeah, find us on Apple, Google, and Spotify. And Spotify, of course, the home of the 80s-est region list, playlist.
You know you love
All
them.
the songs. You know you love them. You know you like them, and you know you subscribe to them, and we appreciate that. So
We do. It means a lot.
it does. Well, guys, that's it for this region.
That's it for this round.
That's it for the second round of Side B. So next week, we're going to get down to the Sweet 16.
Good Lord.
But next time on the 80sist, we're going to enjoy the third set of matchups in the first round of our hair metal minigame. So see, we're putting these in on Fridays. There's more time for the voting to take place before we just grab the results from movies region and say it's over. So
Yeah.
we've been spacing it out. We learned from last year, right, John?
That's right. We're capable of learning.
So it's going to be another Hair Metal Friday for you, and we hope you enjoy that. And until that show, on behalf of Joe Walk, this has been Keith Marsteller saying, hey, Joe, do you remember a time back in the 80s when we had so few media outlets that when you talked about a TV show, pretty much everyone in the country basically knew exactly what you were talking about?
No, sure. I mean, the big 3 networks were the thing when we were kids until Fox joined them in the very late 80s.
Hey, do you remember that one time when Vice President Dan Quayle...
All right. So I'm sorry to interrupt. Dan Quayle is the proto-moron of ultra-dumb politicians in our lifetimes. Quayle is the fore-dummy to idiots like Sarah Palin and Matt Gaetz, George Santos, and Marjorie fucking Taylor Greene.
Well, no argument there, Joe, but well put. But anyway, at one point, Dan Quayle decided to speak out against the TV character, Murphy Brown. I don't know if you remember this, but yeah, he acted as though she were a real person. Now, in the show, she was a single career woman, newscaster, who became a mom. And he actually gave an entire speech about how much that pissed him off.
But Dan, dude, millions of moms around America were doing this single mom thing. How galactically out of touch were you?
Well, the answer lies within his own words, Joe. Could you please read the Dan Quayle quote I have from his speech? But just so that listeners don't get bored, could you do it as Dan Quayle?
You bet. I have a great Dan Quayle impression in my pocket. Here we go.
Oh, good.
It doesn't help matters when primetime TV has Murphy Brown, who supposedly epitomizes today's intelligent, highly paid professional woman, mocking the importance of fathers by bearing a child alone and calling it just another lifestyle choice. I know it's fashionable to talk about moral values, but we need to do it. even though our cultural leaders in Hollywood network TV and the national newspapers routinely jeer at them. Duh! I think most of us in the room know that some things are good and some things, like this, are wrong. Duh!
Wow, well done. Bravo, Joe, bravo. Do you remember when we thought that was as bad as a politician could get?
I think I just got a mouth infection from reading his words. Feels like it might be in thrush. Again. Yeah.
You go rinse with flucosanol. I'll play the Murphy Brown theme.
That sounds good. Yeah.
What do you think, Joe? Murphy Brown guy? Not a Murphy Brown guy?
Never saw one episode.
Oh, okay. I saw
How about
a few
you?
of them. Early on, it was on in my house, and then, high school and college hit, and, I didn't really see it much anymore. But,
Yeah.
decent show. Pretty good
I
show.
think like when we talked about Designing Women, I think I mentioned that the CBS sitcoms, for the most part,
Missed
not
you
in my
completely.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, this was, it was decent. They tried to bring it back a couple years ago, and I heard that went very, very poorly.
Oof.
A lot of shows have been doing that, where they're like, "Oh, let's come back. People want us for one more season," and then when they actually get that season, like Will and Grace, I think did that same thing.
They did like 2 seasons, I think.
Did they? I didn't see it, so I don't know if that was bad or not. But
Yeah.
anyway, there you go. The Murphy Brown theme. I had no recollection of it. Apparently, you never saw it, so you didn't either.
Not once.
But thanks for doing Quail for me.
Oh, thank you.
I knew that would be-
that was a pretty spot on quail.
And good luck with that thrush.
Thanks much, man.
All right. See you later.
All right, take care.